I figured that you guys should at least see me in a cap this time because it's been a while. No, I'm just kidding. My hair is starting to grow long, so it's just sort of. I mean, you guys didn't really need to know that, but by the way, if you can see that that's Emigrant Peak, probably not going to do it because it's only 10,000 feet. Not a big number. Grew up at 8,000 feet, so that's just baby numbers. Hers Hill, one of the places I go to, is 9,000 feet. It's a valley at 9,000 feet. It doesn't really matter. Today, actually, I wanted to talk to you about something that I I was actually talking to a coworker of mine yesterday while we were digging a ditch or a trench. I was telling him how there are days in the week where I don't feel good, and the only reason I'm talking about how I feel today is simply just because I think a lot of people need to hear that. We were talking about this other coworker who just complains all the damn time. Like, you'll find him complain to guys, you'll find him complain to girls all the damn time. And it's annoying because you'll see him talk to a girl and the girl is just like, I don't want to be here. She just has that look on her face where you can tell that she just doesn't want to be there because he's just complaining. She's just trying to be a good friend and listen. She's not trying to be mean, so she's just trying to listen. And it's bad because you're a grown man, you're my age, and all you have to do is complain in life. I don't understand that. You're always feeling sleepy, you're always feeling tired, and you're always complaining. That's the trifecta right there. You're done. There's not much you can do. This is the same coworker that told me that he left his hometown in wherever the heck he's from because everybody finds a trade like woodwork, carpentry, cement work, construction work, framing, whatever. They find a trade, they pick a trade, they hone in on that trade, they get married pretty soon, then they have a family, they buy a house, then they sell the house, then they buy another house, then they sell that house, and then they buy another one. And that's what he was trying to escape. But you can't escape things by complaining about things. Does that make sense? You can never complain about things and expect to escape them. It doesn't work that way. What does work oftentimes is when you become irrationally positive. I was telling another coworker of mine, the bartender, she was asking me, why do you believe in positivity in this way? That you just don't let the day affect you. You're very apathetic towards what people say, you're apathetic towards the day. And I said, because I don't want these things, these diminishing things to control me. That's why I fast. Like, I fast the whole day. I'm on the one meal a day diet. And people are like, I could show some self control. I don't have it. Some other people say I don't have it in me to eat once a day, and it's usually the chunky people. The reason is because I don't want something like food to control me. I don't want something like caffeine to control me. I don't want like drugs. This small thing that could probably get lost, that is diminishable in some ways, is going to control your life. Seriously. That's how weak you are. Anyway, so likewise, what people say doesn't have to have any bearing on me directly because of what God says about me. And that's my faith personally. I'm not trying to tell you to be a Christian. I'm not trying to tell you that you have to have faith in God. But whatever God says about me and the way he views me is the way he views his son. So why would I bother and waste my time listening to what anybody else has to say, whether it be good or bad? I don't like taking compliments. I don't need them. I don't like criticism. I don't mind because it helps me be hyper critical about myself, maybe in ways I haven't paid attention to completely. And it's a new perspective. It's an outward perspective about me. So I can then, once the criticism is given to me, then I can start analyzing, oh yeah, where did I fail? Where did I mess up? Maybe that person has a point. Maybe. And if they don't, if it's just like a straight up shot that I know that they're wrong, then I know that they're wrong. But in a larger sense, what I'm trying to say really in reality is just that what I was telling my first coworker about complaining and having bad days is when I feel like I'm not having a great day and when I feel like I'm about done with everything is the day I decide to be very positive, irrationally positive. I'll give compliments to all the girls that work dining shifts, bartending shifts. I'll say, like, there was one girl, I told her, I was like, you look absolutely stunning and gorgeous today. and she stopped. She just froze completely. Most people are not used to hearing those types of compliments on a daily basis. But as long as I'm trying to do it to spite the very thing that is trying to get me to have a bad day. If I can make someone else smile, it's gratifying in ways that even I can't articulate completely. It makes my heart happy to make other people happy. So when I can give someone a compliment and it's a genuine compliment and they're happy about it and they have this like heart melting feeling where they're just like, thank you. You know, that is what ruins the plans of whatever decides to ruin my day. Because I just made someone happy. I had no reason to. I didn't have an excuse to. I just did it because it's irrational. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. I used to fall for this trap a long time ago. And let me explain a little bit further. The trap was that you have to be authentic with how you feel all the time, and this is why I also don't believe in mental health. Because if you do have problems, why do you want problems? This will be in the upcoming video where I'll talk about problems. But to be very frank with you guys and upfront with you guys, I used to believe that if you feel a certain way, you should just display it to the world. But that is weakness. Why would you want to show people how you feel all the time? It does not make sense. There is no thought process behind it. It's just impulsive. And sometimes you don't feel great and you don't know why. So why would you go ahead and be a burden on everyone else on the planet? Instead, why why can't you change it just by being positive? Has that ever crossed your mind? Why not just be positive? Why not just be the best you can be despite the odds that are stacked against you? That's the way I think about it every day. The day I feel like I'm getting tired at work and I know I have much more work to do and I start feeling tired, I was like, now the real work starts. Now I have to start putting in more effort because that's usually how life works. In my experience, that's how life has always worked for me. Because when the odds get stacked up against you, when you start getting tired, that is how it is on a weekly basis, a daily basis, a monthly basis, a yearly basis, on the basis of a decade, where you start getting tired of this big project that you have. That's how I got my books done. I started getting tired. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to write. I don't know. But I fueled through it because I was like, no, this is when the real work starts. Something is trying to stop me from writing. And the only way to get through this is to make sure that I can persevere and persist despite the odds stacked against me. Despite the fact that I might not hit my deadline, despite the fact that I may be tired, despite the fact that I'm not feeling that great about this, I'll fix it up in the editing, despite the fact that I don't feel that creative either, despite the fact that my brain is completely dead at times and I'm absent minded. I just operate at a higher state. It does not bother me, it does not affect me, it does not aim to manipulate me in any way that it should, because I persist despite the odds stacked against me. And I don't know how long this video is going to be. I don't have an agenda of how long it's supposed to be, but this is what I want to talk about is when you can find a very good reason just to be positive despite whatever is trying to get you to be negative. And I know I said in the last video it's about being positive. It's been 3 weeks since I shot that video, 2 or 3 weeks now. I have been so positive for the past 3 weeks. The day I got back to my room and the ranch that I'm working in, I was positive to everybody there. I was giving compliments left, right, and center. I was trying to put a smile on everybody's face. That is what helped me. I was like, if I told people to do it and that I'm going to do it with them, I may as well just start now. I was talking to the lady at the store and I was smiling at her. I was giving her compliments too. And I was wishing the best upon her. You genuinely never know how far it'll take you. Genuinely never will. You won't understand how impactful it is, not just for yourself, but for other people. And sometimes those people will know what you're going through and they'll be like, I don't know how he does it or I don't know how she does it. But they are always positive. There is no reason for them not to be positive. They can't find one or they just ignore all the excuses they have to be negative. That's power. That's powerful. That is you being the most competent and best version of yourself. I mean, I said no religion, but or no faith talks, but look at Jesus. Everybody is losing their mind. on the boat. They're like, oh no, we're going to die. It's the apocalypse. I don't know. Whatever they were saying on the boat. And Jesus is just like, peace, be still. He controlled the entire environment because he wasn't allowing it to influence him. He was going to influence the environment. And he's given you the same power. He's given me the same power. You can't influence me, I influence you. Learn how that works. That is the authority that Jesus gives us. There is another word for it. That is the power that he enables. I can't find the word, but that is the power that he enables us with. His authority to influence things is the same authority that we have to influence things. And that is why we we rarely use it, and it doesn't make sense. Like, I wish I knew why people don't use that. It's People think God allows things and that God does things that are bad, and he lets bad things just get away with being bad things that are done towards us. When in reality, the truth is that we have the authority to stop bad things. Most people just float away with life and they're like, oh yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. Oh, it is what it is. That's just how life works. Whatever, whatever. The list is endless of the sayings that people come up with just to cope with the fact that they can't do anything about anything. But nobody ever told them, and they never experienced it for themselves, that you can actually influence things in terms of the environment, the climates that are around you. If you're in a bad situation right now, think about this. If you're in a bad situation right now as you're watching this, think of ways where you can influence the situation rather than having the situation influence you. That is where development happens. You don't go through life with experiences, and the more experienced you are, the more mature you are. The most mature people that you'll ever see are the people that learned from the first experience, and when the second experience came, they're like, I know exactly how to influence you instead of you influencing me, because I have that one time experience that taught me all I need to know about how you operate. And now that I know how you operate, I can influence the outcome that I desire. That's how Jesus came back from the dead. That's how he came back from Hades. Situation is, you're dead. You influence it by being resurrected, and nobody's there to resurrect you except for you. There's countless examples of this in the Bible. I mean, even David is a prime example. He never let his emotions influence him to the degree that it separated him from God. He always found himself going back to God, despite how negative or positive things are. That's the art of worship. That is the heart of worship. And for all the Christian people that have been watching me, worship is not about the right song, the right type of song, the right melody, the right lyrics. Worship is not about any of that. The heart and art of worship will always be how you can come to God. I don't care what anyone else says, doesn't apply to me. What I've learned through experience, my experience matters because it has been proven to be true to me. And I can back it up with my life experience. The heart and art of worship will always be how you come to God and when you come to God. Because you can come to Him at all times. When you're sad, when you're mad, when you're angry, when you're happy, when you're frustrated, it doesn't matter. The heart and art of worship is just that you come to God. That's it. That is all the foundation of the system of worship. That is when you can actually get God's presence. So you won't get God's presence when you're complaining to other people about your life and you're whining and you're cribbing and you're crying like a baby. You get to God's presence when you just bear who you are in front of Him. When you can take your heart and say, "This is how I feel, God. This is what I'm going through," and He's like, "You know what? I'm sitting right next to you, buddy. I'm standing right next to you. I'm sitting right next to you." Or we're in a grass field and we're staring up at the moon. I'm laying down right next to you. Tell me what's going on with you. That is the only time I will actually talk about where I'm going wrong, how I feel about things. Because here's one thing. People ask me what my prayer life is like, and I was like, I talk to God all day. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, I talk to God all day. I don't pray to Him, but I talk to Him all day. I'll talk to Him about digging trenches like I did yesterday. I'll talk to Him about some of the kids I've been meeting. I'll talk to him about some of the co-workers that I have. And I'll talk to him about my work. I'll talk to him about anything. I talk to God every single day. And I never stop. It's the whole praying without ceasing thing. Because when people ask me, how do you not struggle to pray? I said, "Well, how do you struggle not to? Like, how do you struggle to pray? I don't understand that." God, Jeremiah says this, David says this. You knew me before I was even in my mother's womb. Before the foundation of the earth was laid, you knew me. Do you understand how deeply he knows you? He's known you for millennia, not even centuries, millennia. Why would you not want to talk to the person that knows you best? God. He has known you before your parents knew you, before your grandfather knew you, before your great grandfather knew you, before Adam knew you, and you don't want to talk to him? You don't even want to talk to the person that knew you before he even created earth for you to exist in. How could you not? That is the person that knows me better than I know myself. Why would I not be talking to him? I had the attitude that there is no one else on earth that will ever understand me right now as much as God does. Why the hell would I waste my time talking to people? Why would I waste my time talking to people who don't know me, who don't understand me, who will never know me and never truly understand me, when I could just talk to God when He truly understands me and truly knows me? Deeper than I know myself and understand myself. That is what gives you a head start. That's what puts you ahead of everybody else. Because everybody thinks, I have to discover myself. That is one of the biggest lies social media ever told you. God is the only one that will unveil who you really are to you. And it's not going to come through the world. Because there is a specific design that God had in mind when He created you. And it is a once in a lifetime design. And if you waste that thinking the world is going to show you just because of experiences, you are wasting your life. You are wasting your time. And I say this and I get aggressive when I speak because I actually care about you guys. I really do. And I wish the best for you guys. But if I didn't, I'd just be like talking all boring and everything. The only reason I get hyped up is because I want more of you guys to know who you really are. I've seen the comments that you guys put down in the YouTube channel. I've seen the comments that you guys put down in TikTok. And I wish the best for you. So sometimes if I sound harsh, it's because I really, really care about you. Sometimes that's how God will also talk to you. And it's like I said in one of my videos. Sometimes you are the biggest obstacle that is keeping you away from being you. So why wouldn't God want to remove that version of you that is being a hindrance to who you're really supposed to be? Why wouldn't He? It makes sense to me. I'm just saying, keep an open mind about this because the world and discovering yourself and I need to travel and I need to do all of this is not helping anybody. It's not helping you. What if you knew who you were and then you decided to travel instead of traveling to discover yourself? What if you already knew who you were and then you traveled? The experience would be way more rich than you'd expect it to be. You would have a richer, more enhanced experience no matter what you do. So, everything that you do to discover who you are, you could do when you already start discovering who you are, and it enhances the experience the whole way through. You become better. You can do much more. You're capable of more. You can influence more to serve an outcome that you desire. And it's not always going to work out for your negative desires, it's going to work out for your positive desires. That is why, so you can't fight negative with negative. You ignore math for a minute. Negative and negative does not equal positive in real life. Negative and negative means more negative because misery loves company. Misery loves company. I'll enunciate it better for you to understand. The reason I'm saying this is because if if you don't like the fact that there's a storm, right? Let's just say you don't like the fact that there's a storm and you're panicking. You being negative is not going to help the storm. You being positive in the storm is going to help the outcome of the storm. That's what Jesus did. That's why he was able to calm it down because he wasn't reciprocating what the storm was trying to provoke in him. Do you understand what I'm talking about now? You can't reciprocate and expect the result to change. You have to be the one that refuses to reciprocate. You have to be the opposing force. And when you are a positive force, then you get the desired outcome that you've been wanting to have. Does that make sense? So I encourage you as a challenge. I don't know how long this video has been by now, but I encourage you as a challenge. Just keep this in mind because I care about you guys. I want you to be the most positive you can be. without struggling to be positive. And I want you guys to think for a minute. If I'm having my worst day, when you feel bad, when you feel like you're at your lowest throughout the day, just please take a minute and think. If I really feel this bad, why would I want to dump that into someone else and I don't know what they're going through? Why would I want to do that? I don't know their life story. I don't know what they're going through right now. Why would I want to add more to that? So why can't I just find a really good reason to be happy? And that is just to spread positivity in their life and make them smile. So next time you find yourself frustrated, wanting to complain, wanting to whine, tired, anything. I was saying, no matter what you think you're going through right now, no matter how negative or seemingly negative it seems, make this your biggest reason to just be positive and spread joy and light into the world. That is what God asked you to do. You remember I showed you my black pants and there was a little butterfly, white butterfly just stuck to them. That is how much you'll stand out. That is how you just spread like a contagious positive energy. Because it's irrational. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to make sense to be positive. That is why I call it irrational positivity. And if you want me to, please let me know in the comments. I will start doing a series on all the things that I believe should be irrational and ruthless. So you have to be ruthlessly positive and irrationally positive. Because the things that are trying to get you to not be positive don't play by good rules. They don't play by rules at all. So the more ruthless and irrational you are with positivity, the more you will excel and succeed in life. And I wish that upon you guys, and I wish that upon the people that you will be positive towards. So please, it's because I care about you. Just take a minute and think, how can I make this the best experience ever? I don't feel great. I feel like crap. I feel tired. I just want to sit and complain. I wish people would understand what I'm going through. And then you change. You're like, wait, how can I change this situation? Someone might be struggling more than me. And I just want to be positive to them. I just want to love on them. It'll make a world of difference. Trust me. You've got this. I trust in you. Have a great week ahead. Continue to just be positive. I said it 3 weeks ago, and I mean now that video is going to be like last week's video. But regardless, I hope you were positive last week, and I hope you're going to continue to be positive this week, and then next week, and the week after that, until you make it a habit to just be positive when all the odds are stacked against you. That is what a warrior does. That is how you get your desired outcome, just by spreading positivity and joy. Let them come to you. Let them know that you are the safest person to come to for positivity, because you are not affected by anything negative in life. I wish you guys the best.